Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning into our channel. If you are visiting for the very first time, please hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to our channel, help us grow our channel. Thank you for subscribing. My name is Constance Nkanyani and I am a founder of Angela Initiative Organization. Angela Initiative Organization is a non-profit organization aimed at crime prevention and awareness among the youth, rescuing victims of crime and victim assistance, educating the youth about the law, impact of crime on the victim, on the offender, and also on society as a whole. Those are our 5 main objectives. Today's video, as you can see, is titled 365 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence and Other Sorts of Crime. 365 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. Gender-based violence is not a 16 days thing, but rather a 365 days pandemic in South Africa that needs to be dealt with actively on a daily basis. We shouldn't just activize against it during the 16 days of activism. No. You see the hashtags on Twitter, you see the trends on Facebook, you see the trends even on TV, only when there was a body found. Only when a life has already been lost. That's when you see the whole country speaking about it. And only if that one victim makes the news. There are many victims in rural areas, in deep rural areas, who do not make it to SABC. There are many victims in deep rural areas who do not make it on Twitter or Facebook, who don't make it on social media. Their crimes just goes on unpunished. They go on unactivized against. So my question is, why should we wait for a life to be lost before we start doing something about it? Why not act against it every day? Don't wait for there to be a life lost before you activize against it. Hence, 365 days of activism against gender-based violence and all sorts of crimes in South Africa. 365 days. 365 days. It's an everyday issue. Because right now, as you are watching this video, right now, right this second, as you are sitting there watching the video, there is a young girl somewhere. There is a woman somewhere. There is a boy. There's a man who's currently being victimized. And yes, I didn't make a mistake when I said there's a boy and there's a man. I didn't make a mistake. In the past few weeks, during one of our campaigns, when we went out to communities, I asked other young people there to define gender-based violence. And most of them said gender-based violence is when a man beats a woman. Yeah. And then I said to them, today I want to give you a new definition of gender-based violence. Gender-based violence does not only happen to girls or women, but gender-based violence happens to everyone. It can happen to a girl, to a woman, to a boy, or to a man. There are also men who are currently being victimized. Gender-based violence does not only happen to a certain gender, but can happen to everyone. There are many people who are currently being victimized. Many of them. So what Angela Initiative wants to do, what the organization wants to do is, we want to activize on it 365 days of the year, and would like for you to join us on the 365 days of activism against gender-based violence, against all crimes in South Africa. I didn't say gender-based violence against women and children, right? I said 365 days of activism against gender-based violence and all sorts of crimes in South Africa. We I'm sure you also want it too. We want to live in a South Africa where I feel free to walk down the streets. We want to live in a South Africa where it's less dominated by crime. We all want a safer South Africa for all. A safer South Africa for all. Hence, we should have 365 days of activism against gender-based violence. Let's not only wait for the 16 days of activism, but let's do it every day. I have a question for you. How many people do you know that are currently being victimized? Whether a friend, a sister, a mother, a father, a family member, someone that you stay in the commune with, someone who stays in the same community. How many do you know? How many? And what are you doing about it? In the back of my mind is like 10 that just come to my mind. 10 victims that I know of. But what are we, you and I, what are we doing about it? Do you know what you can do about it? Here's something you can do about it. Do not wait until a life is lost to be an activist against gender-based violence. Do not wait for the 16 days of gender-based violence. Do not wait for the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Do it today. Activize against it today. Start today. Do something about it today. Join Angela Initiative on doing something about it today. You can. If I can do this, you also can do it. 365 days of activism against gender-based violence and all sorts of crimes in South Africa. Thank you so much, love.